Hello YouTube. I kind of wanted to do like a quick explanation of when I was an ironworker apprentice and how that was for me and why I'm a carpenter now. It'll be titled Ironworker Apprentice. I saw one of my old foremen last night and said hi, but it kind of reminded me of all the bullshit because he's like, "Oh, you still in?" I'm like, "No, I'm a carpenter now." He's all, "Fuck yeah, good for you, dude." I'm like, "Right." Basically, when me and my wife moved back to Pleasant Hill, was it last year? Or is it 2 years ago? Whatever, probably 2 years ago. Something like that. I'm terrible with fucking dates, times, and everything. But basically moved there, and I signed up for every single union possible. I signed up for electricians, because I was really hoping for that from what I heard. I think I signed up for carpenters. Pipe fitters I at least called. I remember I called every single union and tried to get on their waiting list. And ironworker is the only one that called me back. And at the time, I'd gotten my inheritance, and I was moving to Texas, and in the middle of blowing all that money. So I was like, "Oh no, we're going somewhere. It doesn't matter, won't respond." So I fucked off the first letter, literally the day before we moved. Like everything was packed and whatever. I mean, if that letter would have come like a week earlier, or like, I don't know, like 2 weeks earlier, especially, like we would have stayed, and it would have saved me so much fucking money. I should have put a lot more effort into it, but I didn't. But longest story, kind of, back onto the point at least. The fuck's that cop do? Yeah, so I went to Texas, that fucked over, we came back, somehow I got a letter at my wife's mom's house, I believe, or maybe I still had the same letter, because we got another one, like, the day before I left, and I was like, oh, it goes till, what was it, September, or something, or that's when it was starting. And so I came back, did that, used the last little bit of my money to get there and back. We went to like this 3-week class, all about like fire watch safety, welding. We did a lot of welding, oxy fuel, and acetylene cutting. A few of us, probably like 4 or so of us out of the whole group, from like a bunch of different states, because it was Tradeswomen sponsored. So it was all women, lots of gay bitches, and they were all like with each other, not with each other, well, they were, but they were with other people or married, and they all ended up fucking because they all were at the same hotel, and it was really weird. I was the only one because I actually traveled from Copper to there. It's like 2.5 hours there and back at least every day drive, and I was all with my wife and shit, so like that was very interesting, but interesting people for sure. More than half of them didn't stick to it, because I've talked to a couple of them, but that's what they said. But basically, yeah, so I did that for 3 weeks, got a bunch of certifications, learned how to stick weld, oxy fuel, acetylene cut, tie rebar, and then I got right out of there, like October 3rd or something, and got a job with Alamillo Rebar, worst fucking company to work for. They had me out in Stockton, which was semi-cool, because it was only an hour away from Copper. Yeah, they had me out in Stockton tying columns and, like, different kinds of columns and parts of walls and shit for the Chase Stadium in Oakland, or wherever the fuck that is. And I did that so much for, like, a couple months. I got carpal tunnel really bad. And so, I told him, I was like, "Hey, I can't feel my arms when I wake up." Like, literally, I'd go to sleep. I'd lay on the floor because my back would hurt so fucking much. I'd wake up, and I was, like, from my shoulders out, I couldn't feel anything. Like, I just couldn't feel my arms. Couldn't lift anything. Like, when I got there, I'd put, like, I'd rub icy hot in my hands and mineral ice in my gloves. I have, like, a leave and shit, and just put, like, the icy hot roller thing going, and putting that on my wrist, like, every break on my back. So that was interesting. It definitely started building my muscle up a little bit, though, so that was cool. Yeah, so I had like bad carpal tunnel, so it's like, "Okay, don't go to your doctor, don't say anything, go to our doctor. Here, we'll send you here." They sent me to this one doctor, I think in Stockton too. He's like, "Oh yeah, you have carpal tunnel, it's really bad. You should probably, keep doing what you're doing, and you'll be fine." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "You should probably see your doctor to follow up on it, if they can do anything else for you." So I followed up with my doctor, told them that. Said I definitely had carpal tunnel and I should report it to workman's comp, but I didn't because they said not to, which was kind of stupid. But I mean, I don't think I would have anyway, because getting into that, you don't want to have a name. Honestly, fuck all that shit. So, that company never called me back. It was like 2 weeks later. I was like, "Cool, fuck yeah, I want a break," but I needed the money, so they didn't call me back. And yeah, and I talked to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're fired." I was like, "Oh, why?" He's like, "Oh, it's because you have carpal tunnel." you must have had it before. I was like, no, I played instruments like all my fucking life and used my hands like every single day. But it was obviously the twisting and shit from tying rebar. I'm like, oh no, well, yeah, you're fired. I'm like, fuck you. So I went to the hall. That's the one good thing about being the iron worker, is that they generally always had jobs. Like, you would just go to the hall and they'd send you out like that day, with a carpenter, it's like you go in, oh yeah, we have so much work, man, and then they give you a bunch of addresses, sometimes phone numbers if you're super lucky, and tell you to go to the job site. If you're trying to get a night job, then you just look like a creeper, but in general, they do not want you going to the job site, and they all tell you that, so I don't know why the union sends you there. I don't know how it is for electricians or pipe fitters, but I know when I've called there before, like, you just kind of call in and they tell you where to go, so I don't know if that's a thing. I still wish I was an electrician, kind of, honestly, but that shit's hard. It takes a long time. I mean, not that I would be opposed to shit being, like, hard, but, yeah, I'm already in what I'm in. I'm second period now. But, yeah, so that was my experience so far. So I worked for Alamillo, CMC Rebar, which they're kind of the same way. I was literally, when I got let go, literally, I was 2 minutes late. Like, I was there, and it takes, 15 minutes to walk from the fucking bullshit, because we were working on this science building, the Lawrence Academy of Science in fucking Berkeley, and you park down in this pit area. I was there at, 6:40, or whatever, I was fucking there. By the time I walked up and got to the job site, it was 7:02, and the foreman was there, and he's like, yeah, man, yeah, you're fired, you're late. I'm like, bitch, I've been here, but they're so fucking annoying about that. And then I worked for VSL, which is the foreman that I just saw. A fucking crazy meth head dude that said he got rich from his parents' money. Or I always used to tell a story of how rich he was all day and talk about money all day. And that's kind of that's the job site I decided to be a carpenter, because he was telling me and told the dude to do some shit. And the dude was all, I'm not going to do carpenter work on ironworkers' pay. I was like, don't we get paid more though, dude? He's like, fuck no. Carpenters make twice as much as me. And he was a journeyman. I was like, really? So I was like, I'll be right back. Literally said that. I fucking went to the porta potty, because we're in a parking garage. I went on the far side porta potty. Fucking Googled that. Called 152. Called the Manteca local. Called different places. That's what came up first. And I'm like, yeah, we started out at 27. It was 27 at the time. By the time I actually was in, it was 29. So that was cool. Now I'm at 31.46. That's my second period apprentice rate for this year. It's going to go up, so don't really, if you're watching this later on, I guess just for a reference point. But yeah, I called them and I was like, fuck all this, dude. And I think I stayed home a couple days and I got fired. Or, because I was working with a pipe fitter too. And we all just complained about money all the fucking time. I mean, everyone still complains about money. The weather, the government, the money, our women. I mean, that's really what people complain about. More hardcore when you're an iron worker, but most of them were kind of Mexican, not in a racist way, but you can understand them. At least I couldn't, because I don't speak. Yeah, not racist, just saying. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting what you do learn when you're talking with other people that you work with and just bitch about money constantly. So yeah, then I worked for VSL. It was a fire watch. That was the first time I fell asleep at work. I say first time. I was literally watching this welder weld, and we were just sitting on the 7-story of the parking garage. I was just sitting there, and I was just couldn't keep my fucking eyes open, because I'm used to going and fucking running rebar across grids and stuff, and tying shit, and getting yelled at and screamed at to carry that 100 pounds this way, 100 pounds that way on loose ass rebar that hasn't been tied down, because they did teach you a lesson to keep your balance, or you fall and you fuck your shit up, which lots of people fuck their shit up and just left the job. I mean, that's another thing about being an iron worker, is that you're expendable as fuck. Everyone wants your job because they're usually not racist. Mexicans that are illegal. Seriously, not fucking around. Which I don't have anything against that. I really don't give a fuck about laws in general. That, people from prison, people that don't know about any other union, people that can't take a test to get in, because this is the only one you don't have to take a test to get in. I think laborers you do. Maybe. But I literally just got in because I had construction experience and, well, kind of. And I did the women's class, and I was a woman. Honestly, it's pretty sexist. If you're a woman, you can get in any trade. Say there's a list of 5,000 people, which isn't that much. They say 5,000 people want to get in the union, and 500 of those are women, which, honestly, that's sometimes the case, unfortunately. If those 500 that are women, even if they signed up the last fucking day, or that same day, if they push for it, they're going to go to the top of the list. And either tradeswoman is going to sponsor them, or, if you call a company, be like, hey, it would sound feminine, or hey, I'm a woman if you talk like this, you know, whatever, then they'll hire you over a guy. So that's kind of sexist. It worked for me, worked for other people. Like, same thing happened with a friend of mine, kind of friend. I mean, she's cool in class. She's older lady. I've met a lot of older people, so it's funny to me when I see people in my everyday life that are so fucking lazy, or say they're too old for this, when there's like 70-year-old bitches being iron workers and, like, you know, or just being carpenters or something. You know, it's like, you're never too old. It's your mindset. It's not your age. Your mindset is what controls you. I totally lost my train of thought. I do that a lot. Yeah, being an iron worker, you're pretty expendable. Oh yeah, the list. So yeah, then I was working for a structural company called JD2. I literally made thousands of bolts, like bolt washer for fucking like a month. The whole time I was in there, I was just like I was in a Connex box, hot as fuck in there. And it was an Antica, where like all the Bada box wines and something with the V, but all the box wines that you see. That's how I was helped building the joists and the struts and all the fucking bolts, of course. Like, seriously, Connex boxes full of bolts. I'm surprised it didn't get carpal tunnel there. But it's been steady throughout my whatever since I was at Alamo, that carpal tunnel. But yes, that was fun. I almost stayed because they said that connectors make like $40 an hour, but I mean, carpenters make 48 something right now. But everyone I talk to says they make 50. So I'm definitely gonna stick with being a carpenter. But yeah, so basically I switched unions. I was kind of like, hey, I want to switch. What do I have to do? They're all, hey, you can stop paying your union dues, which I was already 3 months late from ironworker union dues anyway, because they were $36 somehow. Carpenters are only 18. But so I just stopped paying my dues. They finally sent me a letter like a month ago, literally like a month or two ago, saying how I was no longer in the ironworkers union and I had to pay like $300 to get back in. I'm like, no, I'm cool, or whatever. But yeah, so the ironworker thing was fun. It didn't work out for me personally, because I was tired of being expendable. I mean, it was fun kind of being dangerous and being pushed, and like they literally piss you off to make your adrenaline go, so you would carry shit faster and work harder, and you know what I mean, whatever. It was cool. Not hella knocking it, but I like being paid more money, saving my body more. Like right now I have carpal tunnel. I'm gonna try to get the surgery hopefully in a couple weeks if my wife lets me. And yeah, hopefully that'll be fixed, because it honestly affects me every day. Fucking carpal tunnel, you can't feel your hands. I'll be holding up my phone, I'll accidentally fucking throw it. Like literally, you just falls out your hands. It's kind of scary when you're carrying shit, you know. So I like hold my arm that I'm, you know, that's the weakest. So I got a cortisone shot in my left hand, and that kind of helped. But they wouldn't even give me a cortisone shot in my right hand, because they said my nerves and shit were so dead that it wouldn't even help. It would just waste the shot. I was like, okay, damn, thanks for telling me that, you know. Anyway, it's a really long video if it uploads to YouTube. Yeah, so that was my ironworker experience. If you're a woman, you should get in a trade. You should honestly try to be an electrician or a carpenter, operator, if you don't care to do as much work, which is cool. I'm trying to get my wife into that. But was painter tapers union. You know, just fuck being a laborer. Don't even try to be a laborer, because they max out at like $31, or some max out at like $30. Like, no, don't even bother, because you start out at shit money and you keep making shit money, and you're even more expendable than ironwork. All you do is do the hard labor shit. I mean, so does ironworkers, but you get my point. Anyway, I'll put up an experience of what it's like to be in a carpenter apprentice so far.